What's up, Jaguars? Happy Thursday. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to talk about, and we're going to fly through Act 2 or Act 1, Scene 3. What happens in Act 1, Scene 3 is that basically you get a bunch of bickering. You get a bunch of arguments about a whole lot of not much. Like, literally, they're just arguing about petty things like food and all this stuff. And this is what happens when people get stuck in a small space together. You know, if you think about, you wouldn't be able to leave. You know, you would just have to make do. So, plus there's a new person that's coming into the building, Mr. Dussel, who will be sharing a room with Anne. And he doesn't have any kids, but he's going to go into hiding as well. They're also talking about how things are getting worse out there. Mr. Dussel says, right here in Amsterdam every day, hundreds of Jews disappear. They surround a block and search house by house. Children come home from school to find their parents gone. This is grounded in reality again, guys. This actually happened. They would round up kids. They would just go block by block and knock on doors and try to find Jewish people. Like, that's a real thing that happened. But anyway, I wanted to focus on what Anne says at the end. So at the end of every scene in this play, we get this reflection from Anne's diary. And so this is Anne on page 133, paragraph 365. And yesterday I finished Sissy van Marksvelt's latest book. I think she is a first-class writer. I shall definitely let my children read her. Monday, the 21st of September, 1942. Mr. Dussel and I had another battle yesterday. Yes, Mr. Dussel, according to him, nothing, I repeat, nothing is right about me. My appearance, my character, my manners. While he was going on at me, I thought, sometime I'll give you such a smack that you'll fly right up to the ceiling. Why is it that every grown-up thinks he knows the way to bring up children? Particularly the grown-ups that never had any. I keep wishing that Peter was a girl instead of a boy. Then I would have someone to talk to. Margot's a darling, but she takes everything too seriously. To pause for a moment on the subject of Mrs. Van Daan, I must tell you that her attempts to flirt with father are getting her nowhere. Pim, thank goodness, won't play. So we have all these kind of, for lack of a better word, politics going on in this small area with two families and now Mr. Dussel there. We have the Van Daans, Mr. and Mrs., with their son Peter, and we have the Franks, Mr. and Mrs., Margot, and Anne, and they all are staying in this small house. Again, this small room. It's about the size of my classroom right here at Navarre. But what you're seeing is space and anxiety and close proximity and not being able to leave and go outside and be away from these people is really starting to weigh on them. It's really starting to use a word that we have for vocabulary, they're busting out into all these little quarrels, these small arguments that they're not arguing over big things. So now, for your assignment for today, I want you guys to think about, and this is again, I'm not looking for a summarization, but I'm looking you to do some deeper thinking. If you are stuck, I'm going to ask you to put yourself in Anne's shoes. And you're going to be doing this a lot over the next little while. But I want you to put yourself in Anne's shoes. You have this guy you don't know staying with you who is attacking you for just being a kid. Now, you all are 13, 14 years old. You know what it's like to have adults be bossy and to tell you what to do and things like that. But what I want you to do is write a reflection of about 5 sentences. What do you think you would argue about if you were stuck with your family in hiding for your lives? What would you argue about? What would bother you the most? And I'm not talking about big things like the war and things like that, but I'm talking about small things. What would really bother you? What would you be writing in your journal if you were in this situation that Anne is in with these people that she doesn't necessarily know, but who insist that they know better than her? So I'm looking for 5 sentences or so explaining to me what you would write in this situation. How would you feel? What would you be arguing about with your family? if you were in this situation. So I look forward to reading what you have. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later.